1.
Zimbabwe has for decades been a pariah state, filled with all sorts of political cognitive controversies. Yet new formations continue to emerge within the political terrain. It's like at the core of the Zimbabwean politics, there's the desire to unseat the incumbent, or rather I say the ruling party ZANU-PF. New parties continue to come in, the likes of CCC, Zim, and now we have the NPD, the National Progressive Democrats. Joining us today is the founding father of the National Progressive Democrats, Tokara Fambi. Welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, let's just say for our listeners who do not know who is Tokara Fambi, can you paint a picture of yourself? Tell us who you are, your background, education, and some of the fundamentals that shape the politician that you have become to be today.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to present to the nation who I am. I am Tokara Fambi, born on the 13th of April 1985, which means I'm 40 years and some 6 or 7 months. I was born in the rural areas of Nyajena, Renko, down there in Mashingo, and I was born in a kitchen hut. My parents had no money for a maternal hospital for me. So, I always grew up on the harsh side of the ruling party's bad health economic policies. So, I grew up in the rural areas. My father migrated from Mashingo to Mzarabani in search for cotton farming. He died of cholera, all pointing to poor health facilities by the ruling party. We can talk as much, but for now I'm a married man with 3 children. I joined the police force in the year 2005 and I served for 20 years. And I retired having served the force for 20 years and 3 months. For the sole reason of engaging into politics, because I felt that what I wanted for the country was not coming. So I ventured into politics after serving from the Zimbabwe Republic Police. And I think that's who I am.
Okay. And you mentioned the likes of Muzuraba. Is it the area with 40 million? What's the population down there?
Mzarabani? No, I'm not much conversant, or I'm not privileged to say the exact details of how much people are in Mzarabani, but since I left the area, while I was very young, but all I know is that the people there are manipulated by the ruling party. Yeah, except for me and some few friends of mine. And I'm going to go there to enlighten my people of what we are about to do.
So I also mentioned that you are 40 years, so meaning to say you are born free.
Yes, I'm a born free.
So the Zimbabwean politics, they are like, because they want to be ruled by the liberated, the war veterans. What's your take on that issue? The ones who fought the war, they're the ones who should rule this country.
Everyone fought the war. We are still fighting the war. Because after they fought the war, in which they used our mothers and fathers as Ramjiba and Chimwidos, we are still in a fight to remove them, because after they removed the whites, they then became the colonizers of Zimbabwe. So I'm a war veteran, if I may correct my previous statement.
Okay. No problem. Can you just tell us what was the redemption point for you to actually venture into this new path? You mentioned that you served at the ZRP. What made you switch sides and go into politics rather than politics? I know is same as serving the community, serving the citizen, but you moved from being the officer, now you are a politician. What was the
I was a policeman. At the same time, I was a voter.
Okay.
And being a voter, I knew what I wanted to come out of every outcome of the elections that we voted into. So, we voted. I started voting in the year 2008. And the candidate whom I voted for won the election. But it was overturned by some other people who thought they are more Zimbabweans than others. Then another election was in 2013. My candidate lost, and I was shocked how a candidate who won the previous election was to lose this other election. Then in 2018, the candidate whom I voted for was said to have lost the election. And we held anticipations that the court outcomes were going to deliver a new Zimbabwe, but it never came. In 2023, the candidate whom I voted for was said to have lost the election. So I just decided with a lot of my friends, when are we going to let these people who say they've won elections continue to rule us against the wishes of Zimbabweans? Because if you go anywhere and try to ask, we have voted for this party, everyone will be saying, hey, we never voted for them. So I just decided, I know, what I expected, especially the turning point, was the 2023 election. Whenever Smumba said, this election was not free and fair. And my candidate decided to retire from politics, according to what we read in the news. At a time when I thought the Nevers Mumba's report was going to be the fuel to ignite a revolution in the country. So I just said, no, it's better that I go into this field so that what I feel others should have done, I can do it. And I will not have anyone to blame for failing to dislodge ZANU-PF, because I know very well that it's possible. They are not more humans than us. They have got 2 eyes, they've got 2 legs. We are also the same as they are. So I feel I can mount a formidable challenge. That is why I decided to join this field, which they always say is a dirty game.
It's not rather a dirty game, but it's also a minefield. You have to walk cautiously. Speaking of dislodging ZANU-PF, are you up to the task to actually argue the ED 2030 toss?
Yeah, that ED 2030, I don't think it's a very big task. Considering that if we divide this nation into 2, the pro-2030 and the anti-2030, the anti-2030 are the, what can I say? They constitute the greater amount in the population. So all what is needed is to harness the anger in people, the frustration in people. So we are just tasked with the grouping Zimbabweans into 2 camps, the pro-2030 and the anti-2030. Then we see who is going to win.
Okay.
Yes.
So, in your view, who do you think is going to win?
I have already said this. Those who don't want 2030 are many in Zimbabwe. People are wallowing in abject squalor and poverty.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I understand that forming a political party in Zimbabwe, joining politics, it's a monumental task. So what were some of the core philosophical values that made you to venture into politics and become the politician that you are today?
If you may retake that question again.
I mean, going into politics, it's a monumental task. Right? So what are some of the philosophical values or the fundamentals, principles that made you venture into politics, and what is it that makes you the politician that you are today?
Okay, I may respond to you like this. We have got Zimbabwe is polarized into 2 sides. those who are for ZANU-PF and those who are anti-ZANU-PF. But what is there is, those people in the ruling party, they take us as if we are inferior Zimbabweans to them. If you may listen to the likes of, if I may say, Chris Mchangwa, Patrick Chinamasa, talking about the politics of this country, they may be saying things that are unfounded, that you see, are these guys really talking about the things that we see on a daily basis? They will tell you our currency is performing, our currency is doing wonders, Zimbabwe's economy is growing. Zimbabwe's economy is growing, our currency is doing good. When the ZIG cannot even buy fuel, you can't have it in your pocket. So you see, these guys, they take us for granted. So if taking us for granted, then let us go to the opposition side. Yeah, they are opposition figures in 6s and 7s. You know what? There was a time that I sat down with an opposition political figure. Let me not disclose his name, yeah, for the reasons that you know. I asked, guys, are you still seized with the task of removing ZANU-PF? You know what he told me? He said, my friend, we are tired. We have been in the trenches for too long. So let us focus on our lives now. Okay. So I depicted this. These guys, they tried their best. But having tried their best, they've been outshined by the ruling party. Not because the ruling party has better policies, but it is too autocratic, and these guys are now tired fighting the system. So that is the point that NPD is coming in. We want to provide new energy for the struggle. Okay. We just want to provide new minds, new energy, and new plans to take Zimbabwe out of the jaws of authoritarian ZANU-PF rule.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thanks so much for mentioning that. You mentioned that you met an opposition figure. You mentioned that they are tired fighting ZANU-PF. Mm-hmm. So, we'll be back after this ad break for you to actually tell us the vision and the genesis of your party going forward. Welcome back, our lovely viewers. We are still with Tukara Fam of the NPD, National Progressive Democrats. Before we went to the ad break, he told us about his personal journey and his political awakening. But right now, we want to know the genesis and the vision of the NPD. Mr. Fami, can you tell us the founding principles of your party? When was it launched? What are the goals? What's the vision of the party going forward?
Thank you once again. The party was formed on the 29th of June 2025. And we launched the party on the 30th of September 2025 under the vision building a capable, developmental and democratic state for the betterment, or if you may say, to achieve good living standards for the citizens of the great nation of Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So can you just democratic and development, what do you mean by that?
Do you know what? States have always been there, like the Mtapa state, if you can revisit your history. So we say a capable state is a state that is capable to nourish its citizens. Citizens having jobs, the government checking on the poverty data line so that people will not live in poverty. Those who live institutions of learning, finding jobs, those who are doing businesses, making profits from what they are doing. That is, those are just examples of what I'm saying, a capable developmental state.
Okay. Speaking of that, we are seeing technology coming in. You know, Zimbabwe has been much more of a mining, industrial, and if I may say, agricultural. So what are your plans to actually ensure those who are into industry, those who are into mining, who are into agriculture, they are there in your philosophy, in your vision, they do not lose their jobs?
We just need to create those things because they are not there. Basically, Zimbabwe is deindustrialized. Companies have closed down. Industry has closed down. The mining sector is more of being dominated by the Chinese. We just have to chase them out of this country because they are not benefiting anything. So we just have to remove them from our motherland and put our sons and daughters of the soil to dominate those fields like mining.
Yeah, speaking of mining, there are a lot of Zimbabweans that are complaining that mining, they're always benefiting. The law is not protecting them when it comes to the harsh treatment they're receiving from the miners, the Chinese miners. So when they say you get into power, what are your plans to actually change that and ensure that Zimbabweans, those who are in mining, they are actually protected? The Chinese, they're also treated equally. The law is equal to everyone.
The law is equal to everyone. We will have those institutions to deal with the mining sector, to see what is supposed to happen in the mining sector and to have our country benefit from what comes from the mining sector. The Chinese, even if they are equal and should be treated as equal, but if you look now, they have assumed a superiority complex over an indigenous miner in Zimbabwe. So that just has to be corrected.
Moving on, you are the NPD, meaning you are the opposition, right? There are those who say, when the new opposition comes in, it's the same song over and over again. We have seen MDC going to different factions, seen the Triple C coming in, which was disseminated by the Chabang. So what are you doing as the NPD, as the founding father, to ensure that the likes of the Chabangs, they do not come in with a piece of paper and destroy the opposition?
The NPD has got a constitution. We may say it has got an interim constitution for now that states or that lays down how the party has to operate. Okay. And our constitution clearly states who holds this office, how is he or she appointed. That is all laid down. We have a constitution as the National Progressive Democrats. A solid constitution is in place which states who holds this office, how he or she is appointed, how to deal with the rogue elements who arises here and there in the party, because we are bound to have those people and we have put benchmarks as to control the arisings that we foresee in the future. So we have our constitution. It's very solid and ZEC is in possession of that document. Thank you.
Okay, before I let you go, I will talk more about your constitution, the internal structure of your party, how the democracy works, since you're a democratic party. Yes. Yeah. So, but before I let you go, in our first segment, you mentioned that they are anti-2030 and they are pro-2030 individuals, right? So, I would like to know from you, the ED 2030, it was endorsed recently, and it has the potential to actually cancel the 2028 elections. How do you view that? If it happens, what's your party's take on such a scenario? I
have always said, first with such a coup on our constitution, I am going to lead the nation to endorse what is constitutional, and we are going to fight that constitutionally, because the constitution of Zimbabwe has given us other avenues to fight for what we demand as citizens. We may not preempt as of now, but we are ready for that.
Okay.
Thank
You
you.
so much for sharing that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this ad break. Welcome back, everybody. We are still on the bench. And right now, we want to know the internal structures, how the power flows within the National Progressive Democrats. Mr. Fambi, can you tell us? We have seen opposition parties being so secretive about their organs. There is this one, there's this one, we have this committee, we have this committee. How is your party like?
Thank you. I don't know if my badge is well seen here. It's from the people,
The camera there.
by the people, with the people. So it comes from the people. It's with the people, and it's by the people. So the people decide what happens with the power flow in the NPD.
So do the people just give in opinion, then you take the final decision, or the people vote? Then if the people, they are more oppositional to maybe the decision you want to make, you allow them to
Yes,
go in that point?
definitely, because it's theirs.
Okay.
Yes.
So you formed the party, but you formed it for the people.
Yeah, we formed it for the people. We just came up with an idea
Okay.
and presented it to the people. And the people are running, championing the idea.
Okay. So we have seen different parties. Most of them, let's say the ruling party, they are mostly focused on war veterans, the rural areas. Triple C and MTC, they were more on, specifically MTC was more on workers, Triple C was on the youth. Who are your targeted voters come 2028?
Thank you. Our targeted voters are Zimbabweans. You said the ruling party focuses on war veterans. I beg to differ. War veterans were given bicycles, whereas Maiwele was given a Toyota Aqua for playing on a rally. And war veterans were given bicycles, whereas that Matsbaba who said Sapatina was given a GT6. Yeah. So the ZANU-PF doesn't focus on war veterans. Okay. Triple C, yes, it focused on the youths, everyone. But I just believe they were so unfortunate. They were outplayed by these mafias. We are bringing every Zimbabwean on board. If I may add on to this, the NPD was formed on a general consensus, if I may put the word general consensus in quote. Zimbabweans say ZANU-PF has failed. The opposition that we looked up to for delivering us from the hands of ZANU-PF seems to be failing daily. So our view was to say, let us come up with a general consensus by Zimbabweans. Those in ZANU-PF will vote for us, because those people in ZANU-PF don't want to be there. They want the freebies. They want the things that they get, that they receive from that corrupt political party. But they don't want to be there. Every Zimbabwean needs to be free. So the NPD is just saying, Zimbabweans, come let us reason together. Those who are tired, those who are saying, I'm not going to vote anymore, those who are in the diaspora who said it's not worth going to Zimbabwe to vote again, those in ZANU-PF who are held hostage because they feel if we come out to support another political party, we will be persecuted by this party. Those in the opposition who say, when are we going to reach Canaan? The NPD is gathering all Zimbabweans under the general consensus that come, let us remove this animal.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just hold your tongue for a minute there. You mentioned the general consensus. You mentioned the ones in the diaspora. You mentioned the ones who are also tired of voting for the opposition. As a newly formed party, there's that notion that, even if I vote, ZANU-PF will win. What's your take? What will you do as the Uniformed Party to actually change that perspective?
Changing that perspective is not going to be a very simple task, I tell you, because truly people are tired. But what I'm saying is this: if people can be determined to come and fight this animal together, we are definitely will win. Do you know that in 2008, Zimbabweans had the vigor. They voted for change, and Morgan Tsvangirai really won the election in 2008. So with the determination, that is going to happen in Zimbabwe. It happened in Zambia. It happened recently in Malawi. The ruling party was unseated through an election. ZANU-PF people are not angels. They are human beings. We are human beings. I assure Zimbabwe we are going to defeat them.
Okay.
Come 2028.
Okay. Speaking of 2008, you spoke that the MDC won, but there's that issue when it comes to elections. The ruling party, they become roguish when they actually want to win. So how will you protect the voters, the opposition want to vote for you or voice out and protest against the ruling party for you guys to come in as the new rulers, for them not to be persecuted or face the issues with the authority?
Sorry that I will continue to revert back to what I said before, that those people whom you say become rogue to other citizens, they are not more citizens than us. We are going to face one another in this game.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I forgot to ask you this. What makes NPD genuinely different from other political parties before we move on forward?
If you say genuinely different from other political parties,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Okay. In Zimbabwe, specifically there's ZANU-PF, there's the opposition. Every political party which is the ZANU is just called the opposition. What makes it different from those other oppositional parties?
The difference is that we are a new baby in the hands of Zimbabweans. And being a new hand, we have new energy. We have got new minds. We have got new strategies. We are going to draw a line between democracy and cowardice. We are going to present ourselves as a very serious people to challenge this. So Zimbabweans are so privileged that we have decided to take this step.
Okay.
Sure.
ZAPU fought alongside ZANU-PF in the liberation. MDC came on, Triple C came on. Now we are here. What measurement should people give you in going forward when it comes to up to 2028 election that they should vote for you? What do you think you will achieve in this span?
In this span, we will achieve a lot. We will have our structures in place. We will have our candidates lined up for the 2028 match. But our measurement is the 2028 election. It's not that we want Zimbabweans to watch from the side and say, we want to measure you, how we are going to achieve. It's Zimbabweans who should come together so that we can achieve together as a nation. Because the issue of saying this political party has done that, this has done that, it has to come to an end. And people should come under the umbrella of NPD and say, let us challenge these people to remove them. Because truly our country is tired, wasted, and relegated to some centuries back. In this 21st century, we are still having places like Nzarabani with no roads, where the road used to end at Mavradona in 1980 when ZANU-PF won elections, is still the same scenario up to this day. Where there was no bridge, there is no bridge up to this day. So it's a matter of Zimbabweans coming to say, let us do this, let us do this. It's not that we will be superior to say, we are leading you. Anyone who has got ideas that will help us to remove ZANU-PF should come and say, let us take this way, let us take this way. It's from the people, by the people, with the people.
There's the notion that Matabeleland is politically neglected. What's your take on that?
I've been talking to a certain friend of mine who was saying, I believe the president of this country should come from Matabeleland. Why was she saying that? She's a woman. She was saying, because the Ndebeles are the majority in Zimbabwe. But the Shonas grouped under the Manikas, the Sezurus, the Makorekore, the Karangas, and they say Shona is what? Shona is the majority language in Zimbabwe. But the Ndebeles is much north, much south, and Bulawayo. The Ndebele is the majority. I would have loved to support a Ndebele who was going to come up with the idea of NPD. But because it emanated from me, Shona, I still love my brothers in Bulawayo. They should constitute a greater chunk of this organization.
Thank you so much. It's time to wrap up the show, but before I let you go, what message do we have for Zimbabweans out there?
To Zimbabweans out there, I urge you in conclusion, the time is now, and it's not late to come together and form a formidable force to challenge ZANU-PF. We are tired of this system, and please, my brothers, from Mzarabani, Dotito, Kazungula, Chimanimani, come, let us reason together. From Siabua there, Jocholo, come, let us reason together. NPD is for everyone. NPD, if we say NPD wire, we say it's here, it's there, it's everywhere. That should be the motto.
That's a rap from us, from the bench, and you've heard it from the horse's mouth. The founding father of NPD, Tokara Fambi. And now it's up to you, Zimbabweans, even those in the diaspora, to actually question him, listen, interrogate him, what he has said, and just view his policies on his party. Come 2028 elections, it's up to you to decide who you think will be the best leader for Zimbabwe. Thank you so much.